We could do, I guess, a brief recap on the DC stuff. Anyone got anything further to add? Because there's more coming out about that. I don't know if anyone else wants to sort of cover any of that stuff first.
What more is coming out?
Well, James Gunn isn't too sure whether Sasha Calle is going to be the Supergirl for Supergirl.
Basically, what we were saying,
like that, Woman of Tomorrow.
Basically, what we were saying the other day. Yeah, this is all getting recast.
I'm curious where we are. Where he said that at? Was that
his video?
It's
all this. It's all this big press meeting, press thing that
I want this press conference. It was a 40-minute thing that happened on the night before the video was dropped. Really? And they're pulling all kinds of random quotes from it, completely out of context, some with more context, some without the context. I am to the point, and it's all just designed so we just sit here and speculate, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it's hurting them because you've got this problem out there now, and it's Ezra Miller, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, they're keeping Ezra Miller." I'm like, nowhere in their answer did they say that.
Well, so there is, there is some, there is an update kind of on that as well. There's so many updates on this. So, right. So here's the Flash sets up the new DCU. It resets many things, but not all. And this is where, so I did a video on this today talking about how it potentially still keeps Sasha Calle and certain people in the DCU, because he says, like, is it going to be a complete, is it going to reset everything he was asked, right?
There's a context. I think the context here, because I remember seeing this on Twitter, and the context was actually, why do you keep Viola Davis and the Peacemaker crew while everyone else is going? And that's when he came with this answer. But that might be deliberately misleading.
Well, so he says, nope, Flash resets many things, not all things. Some characters remain the same. Some characters remain the same and some do not. I mean, what does that mean? Does that mean the actors are going to be the same, or the characterization is going to be the same, but a different actor? I mean, it's so wishy-washy.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's all a mixed bag of mixed signals full of political answers. Very few of them have been very direct. He even says twice that this starts the chapter 1, right? He said those 4 projects that we already kind of knew about were technically the start of chapter 1. And then both him and Safran say it actually starts with Superman. So which is it?
Yeah, well, so this is the thing. So this is what he says, Some things are like a rough memory of what happens in the DCU. But once we hit Superman Legacy, anything can be changed.
Exactly what I've been saying.
Even mean?
That means that's the true reset right there. What I've been saying the last few days. Yeah.
It seems like they don't even know what they're doing yet. They're just kind of throwing this out, and we'll be like, we'll figure it out along the way,
I see what you're saying, Nick, but I disagree. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. They're trying not to destroy these next few movies and projects coming up, because people will be like, why the fuck should I watch this when it's all getting rebooted in 2025? Because that's what's happening, kids.
Yeah, and that could totally be the case, and Tom could totally be right. I was just, the way all this is coming out and the way things are being said, it almost feels like the Star Wars sequel trilogy all over again. Like, we'll do this, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do for the next thing, and not really have a start to end finished plan in place before they really do anything.
Making it up as they go along, basically, is how it sounds. I mean, like he even says, we're figuring it all out. We don't know yet whether the actress is going to stay on as Supergirl. We're pretty far away from Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. What? What does that even mean? Yeah, I know we're far away, but you'd think you'd have a bloody idea, wouldn't you? You'd know.
Every one of these answers is the same way. Same thing with Aquaman. Same thing with everything else. It's an open-ended answer.
Yeah. And I agree with Tom. I think it's too obscure from the fact that you don't have to see anything that is to come in the next 2 years, because it's all going to be rebooted away.
Well, then there's stuff about Gal Gadot here, right? And the Henry Cavill stuff is so funny. He's like, well, we didn't fire Henry. We just didn't renew his contract. It's like...
That's technically accurate.
Yeah, well, yeah, we could be as pedantic as we want, but we all know what it means.
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
He's
says
not
this.
welcome back, just like no one else.
Yeah. So he says, looking forward to the new projects, but I'm disappointed you guys let Henry and Gal go, but still have Ezra around. He's a knucklehead, while Henry and Gal have done it all right. Just makes no sense to me. We didn't let Gal go, so maybe she's still on board. Who knows? Ezra's movie is already made. Sure. Henry doesn't fit what I have for Superman. Any word on Gal Gadot? Did you have a meeting with her yet? And by the way, this will be interesting. Let's go. Yes, we met with her.
That doesn't mean shit.
I mean, come on.
So is this going to be just like pieced together some of the old stuff with some new stuff? It just
that was the
feels
original
weird.
plan, but I don't think that's what's going to happen going forward. At least
so weird
from what it seems like. But they're
Isn't
trying
it?
to.
Bizarre.
I don't know why they're trying. I mean, I know what Gunn's doing. He's trying to get us all to speculate and talk because they got 2 years before Superman comes out, right? So like until then, I mean, yeah, we have these other smaller projects that nobody gives a shit about, but those are, whatever. Nobody cares about those. It's Superman is going to be the moment that everybody gives a shit about. And he knows we've got 2 years until that comes up. So he's not going to give us anything real solid until they have casting in order, they start shooting something or anything like that. I mean, there's been some rumors flying around and he's permeating the rumors, right? Like you had James Mangold post a picture of Swamp Thing and he retweeted it. So instantly you had a bunch of stories writing up that James Mangold is in the talks for the direct. Nothing indicates that. Nothing other than James Gunn retweeted a tweet, so there's a ton of this going on right now. And I'm just sitting here watching it all like it's a storm going on around me. And I'm just in this little bubble going, we haven't heard jack shit really. Like we've gotten an idea of what the next, 10 projects are pretty much, but he's already said that there's stuff that he hasn't said that's coming out yet. We don't know what's going to change it. They even said flat out right up front that this stuff could change. So, and then there's the whole Elseworld thing, which makes no sense because David Zaslav himself said he didn't want, multiple things. He wanted one cohesive DC universe.
Well, actually, I think that that's something that Gunn may have been forced into by the simple fact that what was the first movie that was greenlit?
Creature Commando. Oh, under Zaslav, I don't know.
Yeah, under Zaslav was the first
Joker
DC
2
movie greenlit.
Joker 2, but that was
Exactly.
just so they could get some money coming in.
Exactly, but it doesn't fit in with the other things. And then Pam Abdi and Michael DeLuca, they were able to get Constantine rolling, which is something that Keanu Reeves apparently has been asking
every
Warner
single
for
year.
the last 10, 15 years or so. So are they really going to walk that back? No, so right there you have 2 movies that aren't part of anything else. And then maybe James Gunn wants to do Kingdom Come, and he can't fit it in with the other continuities. So maybe he wants a standalone thing as well. And of course, then there's the Batman, the buckle that I still don't understand what the hell they're doing, carrying on.
I see. I like the Batman. I'm not gonna rag on that. I'm happy with the Batman.
I will, because I fucking hate it.
No, but I think it's going to be confusing as hell for people. The normies are not going to understand why there's 2 different Batman.
Yeah, because now we're still in it. Because then James Gunn said there's not going to be like 3 different Batman.
No, that was Zaslav who said that.
Okay.
Well, I think what's important to note is that the Batman comes out in 2025, right? Batman Part 2 is out in 2025. Batman Brave and Bold doesn't come out until God knows when. Batman Part 2 might actually be the final Batman film. We haven't considered that.
Well, actually, I have considered things to that end, and that's what I've been saying is a lot of these upcoming projects, most of them will be out before Superman outside of the Batman, right? A lot of this stuff will be done and said and over with way before then. Even Peacemaker 2 could have another season before then, potentially. Even though there was some wording in something he said that almost made it sound like Peacemaker 2 was getting sacrificed for Waller. But
that's what it sounded like to me. My interpretation, I could be wrong, but my interpretation after listening to it again is that after The Flash, then we still have Amanda Waller coming, and we have this other animated Peacemaker-esque thing coming. But then there's not going to be any Peacemaker season 2, because after that they're going to reboot the whole thing. So that ends all things Peacemaker and stuff like that. It's just that those things were already in development, so that's kind of coming. The Gunn stuff that was in development before he became the head of DC Studios, the stuff that he was developing for the post-Snyderverse, let's call it that. All of that is still coming. It still has to be released, and it's going to be released after The Flash. So that's why he's saying, well, the Flash changes some things, but it doesn't change the things that are still coming out, which are all my things. So that all stays. And then, of course, comes 2025, and then that too disappears.
Yeah.
Which is why I think he said there's not going to be a Peacemaker season 2, because then that whole universe storyline is all over.
To be clear, though,
with Waller.
We only have so much context there out of that quote. That's what pisses me off, and that's why I want this entire press conference.
That would have been nice.
Well, I think Waller is just part of the DCU. Like, I think that's there. I think Peacemaker is probably just going to be part of the DCU. I think there are certain things that will just, that's it.
When you say DCU, do you mean like the Gunverse going forward?
Yeah, that's what he called it, the DCU. No, but I do. I mean, I think his statement of basically saying, yeah, like some of it's a distant memory. Like, I think I mean, unless they use Superman as the linchpin for other things happening, I don't know. Like, it still seems a bit of a mess, though.
Well, let's look at it this way,
nothing
too.
Nothing actually clarified, is there? Here, he was
all
will be revealed with my slate. It's just added confusion. More.
Like Mexican Iron Man was upset when we revealed this to him because he's like, I don't see any of the main big guns here. And I'm like, no, wait a minute, stop, time out. They're all here. I'm like, we're not even looking at this right. We got Superman right off the bat, right? Themyscira series, that's probably setting up Wonder Woman. I mean, sure, they're kind of bouncing around whether Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. I will have to wait and see how that series starts out. It could be a completely reestablishing Wonder Woman's background and setting up completely new Wonder Woman. And then you got Batman Brave and the Bold. We're getting a brand new Batman there. So right there's the Trinity, basically. I mean, sure, we may not be getting Wonder Woman proper, but I think they're setting her up. Nowhere in there's Flash, Aquaman, Suicide Squad, anything that would be related to anything that's been done before or Gunn related. So to me, it looks like a pure reset. But again, we're speculating here, which is exactly what they want us to do.
Yeah. It's a tricky one. Paulie, you've remained awfully quiet. Good. So.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, just taking it in. I had brought up, like, what is happening with Sasha Calle? Are they going to bring her in this new Supergirl film? And if not, are they going to cut her out of the Flash because the Flash is happening?
No, she'll still be in it.
Right. So I was just kind of right now snooping around Sasha's social, and that's all. Just kind of looking at it.
So you missed the part where I said about how he didn't know whether she was going to be in it in the future.
Well, listen, no, I didn't. It's just kind of right now, like this past couple days, is everyone's kind of saying the same thing. So know, everyone's got the same questions.
Well, they're saying a lot of things. They're saying the same things, but not saying anything, basically.
But not saying anything. And then again, the only other thing I said the other day is no talk of the Penguin, which kind of strange.
Oh, the series. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, that would be pretty big.
A mission, considering that it's shooting right now.
Well, is it though? Because
last we heard it was.
Yeah.
Well, no. What I mean is it a bigger mission though? Because they didn't officially reveal the Batman release date in the slate. They also didn't do that about the Joker on the slate. They were specifically talking about the newer stuff. I don't think that's a bigger mission actually, if you think about it in that context. I think that's okay.
Right. We did learn about the Batman 2 outside of that.
I think he's keeping it separate, not trying to confuse the plebs, as it were.
Well, the Batman 2 was announced, I believe, in the press conference, but they only mentioned it once in the big announcement video they dropped. and that was just in the Elseworld thing. Sorry, Paul.
No, I'm just curious to see, especially with this Oscar run and the award season still going on, like if they're going to tap into that and make any announcements in regards to Colin Farrell and the Penguin, because he's such a hot ticket right now. I'm surprised that they haven't, just to build better kind of rapport with their audiences. Because they got a lot of damage. They're doing a lot of damage control. So, just thoughts. Nothing really.
And has it been confirmed that Batfleck is out? Because there were rumors going around that he was still in.
It's about as confirmed as you can get outside of one of them coming out and flat out saying it at this point, basically.
Okay.
No, I think that was absolutely confirmed because he's gonna. Because he.
I don't remember seeing anything.
James Gunn said he's met him for directing role. That was it. It wasn't for.
That's my point. He didn't specify anything else one way or the other. He said we've talked to Ben and it's been about possibly directing a project or something like that. That was basically all he said. So. Yeah,
I think it's all but confirmed. I don't know. I'd say
that's what I was going to say. He was one of the earliest ones where he's flat out said that he was out.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. The only people who have said anything about themselves being out have been themselves, right? Yeah. Henry Cavill, The Rock, Zachary Levi, kind of wishy-washy. We had Gal Gadot's statement, but that one was very cryptic, right? And notice what they said. They said, we didn't fire Gal, or we didn't let Gal go. That isn't saying that Gal's not there. That's not saying she is there. That could mean Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi said, adios, mi amigo. They're just the same thing with the Henry Cavill thing, because they got confronted about that, and they're like, we never hired Henry. We had nothing to do with that. So
that would be really quick. Adios, amiga.
Amiga, I'm so sorry, Paulie.
It's still
you
gendered.
You are correct. I apologize.
Until the Wokosos get at it,
You are correct. I apologize. I humbly apologize, sir.
So, yeah, very important.
Please.
Amiga.
Mi amigo. I apologize.
Adios, amiga.
Amiga. Adios, amiga. Yes.
No amigex. Hell
no.
Hell no. Oh, God.
That sounds like some alien creature from Star Trek or something. The Amigas are coming and we can't stop them.
It just sounds like they're
coming from Hollywood.
Sounds like the next gen Amiga.
Actually, you're right. Yeah.
Wow.
It's the Amiga X.
It does, doesn't it? All right. Well,
Amiga CD32X.
Oh dear. Right. Well,
CD could stand for cross-dressing. Andre, careful.
Oh yeah. There you go. Perfect.
Well, we got this. So Gary for £5. So thanks for the super chat, Gary. Says James Gunn's version of the Weasel character is in Creature Commandos, and that is true. So that's a layover from the Suicide Squad. Isn't it? Right.
I think that was his secret project he was talking about before he was even president of DC Studios.
Yeah, it would have to be because of the time to finish all the episodes. He said it's all done, isn't it? So that would make sense. Well, I think we can shuffle on now anyway. I mean, there's not what else is there really to say on that now.
Did Nick have anything more to say? Because he's been quiet too.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, I was just curious on the Ben Affleck situation because like I said, I hadn't heard anything official or anything. And then of course I said that it just, to me, from the things being said and news coming out, it seems like they don't really 100% know what they're doing here, and just kind of figuring it out.
I think they know. They just wanted to seem like that. We first heard rumors that Affleck was back as Batman for 3 movies, and that probably was the intention at the time when we heard it. But then the intention changed.
Yeah, because before James Gunn came into the picture, that's what I was hearing, is that basically Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi were trying to find a way to hang on to the main 3, at least, or 4, actually, if you count Momoa. Ezra was up in the air. They were already looking at other people and so on and so forth. But at that point, they wanted to do like a soft reboot. At least they were thinking that's what they could do and keep these actors and not have to reestablish everything. But of course, James Gunn, being a visionary himself, I could see him not wanting that baggage, but we'll have to see how it goes forward again.
This whole
Andre-
DCEU thing has just been a mess from the get go for me.
Well,
Well,
and that's the problem. Is there
it-
never really was an official DCEU. That was part of the problem. There never was a DC Studios. There never really was a true steward to oversee it all. I mean, we had 5 different people run the DC universe in the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, people will say that it was Snyder, and then they took it from him, which is in part true.
It's not untrue,
to
but
a
yeah.
degree. But yeah, like, I mean, it has been an unmitigated disaster. I mean, we've had a slate like this revealed to us before.
Yes.
I mean, it never happened. Like, barely any
This
of
is
it
true.
happened. So
No, this slate,
You know.
that slate, that was like DC's phase 1, and it ended with Cyborg in 2020.
yeah,
Basically, it should have ended 3 years ago. The original slate that never happened.
yep. Funny.
It's good to keep that in mind. You're right, Nate.